Okay, today we're doing lesson 1-3, the SI system or metric system. We just did a little bit of research and we found that out of 195 countries in this world, only 3 of them use the imperial system. One of them is the United States. We use things like feet, pounds, inches, gallons, yards. The rest of the world doesn't do that. They use different units, which I don't want to reveal yet. But the SI system is also called the metric system. We're going to start off by identifying some quantities and those quantities base units. So let's begin, everyone. Let's start off with time. Raise your hand if you know. What is time measured in according to the SI system, aka metric system? Seconds. And what do you suppose the abbreviation for seconds is? SEC, less than that, just S. Okay, this is internationally recognized. Everybody use seconds, and seconds is S. Next one, length and distance. Meters. What is the symbol for meters? M. And just so you guys know, we had a student who thought a meter was a yard. They're close. Hey, Siri, how many feet are in 1 meter?
1 meter is 3.28 feet.
Is that a yard? No, that's a yard, 0.28, whatever that would be. So a meter is a little bit longer than a yard. All right, next one, mass. Not weight. Remember, weight is influenced by gravity. What would mass be measured in?
Grams.
Grams. And grams are actually pretty small. Let me give you an example of just how small grams are. Hey, Siri, how many grams is a pencil?
Here's an answer from weightofstuff.com. The
What?
weight of a standard unsharpened pencil ranges from 6 to 7 grams.
Yeah, like your hand is probably near 100 grams. So grams are actually very, very small. I'm sure you guys may have seen TV shows or movies where they say, oh, they have 20 grams of some illicit drug. You know, that's not a lot. It's very small. So we will go a lot bigger than just grams. Next one, temperature, and it's not Celsius. Good. Kelvin. And by the way, gram is G. Kelvin is a capital K. All right, 2 more. Volume. Now, I'm not talking about sound. I'm talking about a space occupied. How would you describe the traffic volume on Dale Mabry during rush hour in the morning? High or low? High. How would you describe traffic volume on Dale Mabry at 4 a.m.? Low. How would you describe student volume in the hallways right now? How about at class change? So volume is just the amount of space occupied, not sound. So we're clear. What is volume measured in the metric system? You guys are killing it. I want to share the wealth over here. Liters. Now, these are little intricacies, guys. That liter is an L, so just so people don't get L and I confused, it is important that you actually use a capital L, just so you don't confuse it with like an I. Yeah.
Can you use a capital M for meters or something else?
That's lowercase. No, meters is lowercase. And lowercase and capitalization does matter. I'm glad you guys are kind of asking questions about that. When I capitalize it, you capitalize it. When I lowercase it, you lowercase it. That matters. That really does. It does make a difference. I know some of you, when I had a little phase in high school where I would do this. My name is Kurt. And I would write everything in caps. And my teacher would tell me, you can't do that. Don't do that. Don't get into that habit. So she killed that quick. I want to make sure I do that with you. When I capitalize, it's for a reason. When I lowercase, it's for a reason. Be sure you do the same. And here's the last one. I'll be impressed if anybody knows this one. Amount of a substance. Anybody know just with that?
Ounces?
Not ounces. Ounces is what makes up a pound, and pound is imperial.
And also grams?
It's not a gram. No. I'll give you a hint. It is named after a subterranean mammal. Varun? It is moles. The abbreviation for mole is mole without the E. Why don't you think we use M for mole? Aiden?
Doesn't mean
It's taken. It's like Forrest Gump. Sleep's planking. Can't see it here. Can't use the same symbol for different meanings. These are the measurements that we will be using throughout the entire year. Time is measured in seconds. Length and distance is meters. Mass is grams. Temp is Kelvin. Volume is liters. And amount of a substance is moles. Now we get to the fun stuff. SI prefixes. Oh boy. I have a medal up here. It's a Skyway 10K. What does the K stand for? Kilometer. Or no, kilo. The K stands for kilo. But when you're running, you're covering a distance. So that's going to be kilometer. I got a Gasilla 5K, a little rag over there to give you to cool off. It's soaked in cold water. 5 kilometers. I don't know what my mass is. I'm like 220 pounds. I have no idea what that is in kilograms. Let's see. Hey Siri, what is 220 pounds measured in kilograms? About 110? No, I can't be right. Hold on. I have a conversion app here. I went to Africa during the summertime, in Tanzania to be exact, and they obviously use metric, so I had to get my little conversion chart out here for stuff. So let's see. Ounces, pounds, 220, K, metric, kilogram. I weigh 99.7 kilograms. So you hear that prefix kilo. You hear prefixes like milli, centi, kilo, mega, giga. You're going to learn all those. Here we go, guys. Do you want to start off small and go big, or do you want to start big and go small? What do you want? You pick. Small to big? All right, let's do it. So we're going to have a prefix. We're going to have the symbol, which is the abbreviation. We're going to have the numerical value in base units. And then we're going to have the power of 10 equivalent. This is going to be one of the most important charts that you will have all year. Take care of this. Now, if you guys were little kids, little toddlers or kindergartners in Germany, Spain, any foreign country that isn't, what were the 3? United States, Myanmar, and Liberia. This is what they show on Sesame Street. Sesame Street is an international show. If I were living in a foreign country and I had to be there for years, I would actually start watching Sesame Street. They teach you the basics. So this is what those kids are taught. So you're going to Sesame Street, Germany, Sesame Street, Sweden. Here we are. The first one is going to be Pico. The symbol for Pico is going to be a lowercase p. And it is, you ready for this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is 1/1 of a base unit. Those are 11 zeros followed by a 1 for 12 total numbers after the dot. 1 trillionth. That's a trillion. The power to the 10 equivalent is 10 to the negative 12. This is the size of protons, neutrons, and electrons. We're talking tiny. Really small. I have a really cool website that I want to try to show you guys after we get all these written out. This is like this. It does go smaller, okay? But, you know, you got to pause it somewhere. I'm not going to show you all the different measurements. We would be here for days. I'm just showing you a select range. All right, you get a little bit bigger than pico. You go to nano. Or yeah, nano. The symbol for nano is in. And it is 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 8 zeros followed by a 1 for a total of 9 digits. This is 1 1,000,000,000. Now, I want to try to have you guys think rather than just copy. How many total digits do I have after the decimal? 9. How many zeros are there in 1 billion? 9. So that because this is less than, this is small, it's going to be 10 to the negative 9th. This is bigger than a picometer, a picogram, a picoliter. Okay, the next one is going to be micro. We use this measurement to measure the size of cells. Now, this next symbol, you've likely never seen in your life. I will be asking all of you what this symbol is and what it represents tomorrow when you walk into my room. The symbol is this. That is a Greek letter. The letter is nu, N-U. I'll be asking you that tomorrow. It stands for micro. When I ask you, what is that symbol? I went, it's the funky looking U. No, it's called nu. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so if 12 digits was 1 1,000,000,000,000, 9 digits was 1 1,000,000,000,000. What do you suppose micro is with 6 digits? 1 1,000,000. How many zeros are there in 1 million? 6. So this is 10 to the negative 6. You cannot see these 3 with the naked eye. Your eye is not good enough to see these unless you have a microscope of some sort. All right, we're getting bigger. Next is going to be milli. The symbol for milli is a lowercase m. Millimeter, milliliter, milligram. This is 0.001. So what do you think that is? 1 what? 1 1,000. How many zeros are there in 1,000? 3. 10 to the negative third. You can see this with the human eye. Doctors measure things in millimeters all the time. It's easier to have a magnifying glass of some sort, but you can see this with your eyes. Okay, next is centi. What do you suppose the symbol for centi is? C. 0.01 or 1 100th. How many zeros are in 100? 10 to the negative 2. centimeter, centiliter, centigram, centimole, all applicable. Okay, next is deci. Lowercase d. 0.1. 1/10. 10 to the negative 1. And that is it for everything that is smaller than one base unit. A base unit is a meter, a gram, a liter, a mole, a second. So before I get into the big guys, I want to just see if you guys are following along. So let's see if I've helped lay down some new neural pathways in your brain. I'm going to talk loud so the computer can hear me. How many micrometers does it take to make 1 meter? 1 million. How many milliliters does it take to make 1 liter? 1,000. How many picograms does it take to make 1 gram? 1 trillion. Right. How many nanometers does it take to make 1 meter?
Billion.
All right, now I'm going to change it up a little bit. See if you guys can get this. You guys are honor students. Let's prove it. How many nanometers does it take to make 1 micrometer?
Million. Thousand.
How many digits on the exponent separates nano from micro?
30.
3. Follow me here. 3. -9 to -6 is the difference of 3. What number has 3 zeros? 1,000. It takes 1,000 nanometers to make 1 micrometer. How about this? How many millimeters does it take to make 1 centimeter? I hear 10, I hear 100. Let's see. What's the difference between -3 and -2? 1. What number has 1 0? 10. There you go. 10. If you haven't already figured it out, the metric system is based on 10. 10 is a psychologically satisfying number. How many Bill of Rights are there in this country? 10. If you're a Christian, how many commandments are there? If you like to watch Sports Center every morning, Sports Center top 10. Exactly. We do this the same way we do money. Rather than give you 100 pennies, how many quarters can I give you? I'm talking to you. 4. Rather than give you 4 quarters, how many dollar bills can I give you? They're all the same amount of money. If you gave me 4 quarters, that's $1. If you gave me a dollar bill, that's $1. If you gave me 100 pennies, that's $1. If you gave me 20 nickels, that's $1. If you gave me 10 dimes, that's $1. There's multiple ways to measure the same amount. Guys, what is the difference between 1 meter and 1,000 millimeters? Nothing. It's the same amount. What is the difference between a liter and 10 deciliters? Nothing. They're the same amount. It is no different than giving somebody 20 what am I trying to say? 20 single dollar bills versus 4 $5 bills. It is the same amount. You just have different ways to measure the same thing. It's easier. Rather than give you 100,000 pennies, I can give you a $100 bill. It's the exact same thing. One is just more convenient than the other. I told you that I'm 9. Let's see if you can do a conversion. Humor me here. Actually, you don't know this one yet. We'll get to that in a second. Here we have base units. What I want you guys to definitely gather from this row is that when you have a base unit, it's always 10 to the 0. That means that you're like on the level playing field. There is such thing as 10 to the 0. Some students have a mental block where they think 0 can't be the answer. Yes, it can. No can't be the answer. Yes, it can. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to say 0. There's gonna be a lot of times in this class where the answer is 0, and I'll say, okay, what's the answer? And it's just like a mental block. I'm not allowed to say 0 to my teacher. Yes, you are. You're allowed to say no to your teacher. It's okay. No and 0 are in play. Now we're going to get bigger than the base units. The first one is going to be deca. Any clue on what the symbol for deca would be? And keep in mind what deci is.
Capital D.
No. DK. Why is it DK, not just D? Deci is taken. D for deci is taken. This is going to be 10 times, or 10 to the 1. How many meters fit in a decameter? 10. 10 meters fit in 1 decameter. Next is going to be hecto. This one's easy. H. This is 100 times, or 10 to the second. How many liters are there in a hectoliter? 100 liters make up a hectoliter. Now, for all of you track kids or Gasparilla distance classic runners, kilo. Lowercase k. How many meters are in a kilometer? Don't say kilometer, say kilometer. 1,000. How many grams are in a kilogram? Right. So I want to pause here for a second, let you guys have this sink in. See if you can do this math. This is where if you can do this, you're going to be, I'm going to teach you how to do it, but I just want to see if you know how to do it. You ready? Mr. Thorson is 99.7 kilograms. Can you tell me how many grams I am? So here's the catch. What is bigger, a gram or a kilogram? Go ahead.
99,000.
Oh, no, don't answer my question first. What is bigger, a gram or a kilogram? A kilogram is bigger. Guys, a meter, look at me. This is a meter. I'm gesturing about 3.2 feet. What is bigger, a meter or a kilometer? A lot of you, I see some of y'all out on Bayshore every morning or afternoon running a 5K or running with this cross-country team. A kilometer is obviously larger. A kilo is 1,000 of something. If the U.S. Coast Guard found 1,000 kilograms of cocaine washed up in a boat, kilogram, what's bigger, a gram or a kilogram? Right. So if I am 99.7 kilograms, I want to know how many grams that is. So let me tell you the easy way to do this. 99.7. How many zeros are there in 1,000? 3. 1, 2, 3. I am 99,700 grams, just regular grams. Now, what do you suppose is easier to measure? 99,700 grams or 99.7 kilograms? What is easier to measure and count? Exactly. That's why we do this. What would be easier to count? Pennies or dollars? What would be easier to count? Dollars or $20? Yeah, it's all about making life easier for you. I'm not going to say so-and-so is 99,700 grams. I'm going to say 99.7 kilograms. When Tom Brady played for the Bucks, he had a salary of, I'm just making this up, $22.1 million. You know what that also is? $22,100,000. It's the same thing, but one is just easier to go with than the other. All right, I have two more to go over with you. Mega, capital M, 1 million times. You ever heard of a megabyte? A kilobyte? Yeah, that's where this comes in. It is a capital M, by the way. Why don't we use lowercase m? Who took it?
Millimeter.
Milli, not meter. These are prefixes. Milli took it. So it's a capital M. How many zeros are there in 1 million? 6. So it's 10 to the 6. And the last one that I'll have you know, giga. Capital G, 1 billion. $1 billion times. How many zeros are there in 1 billion? 10 to the 9th. Okay, I have you guys for about 4 more minutes, so I want to just kind of tease you with something that I have online. You can check this website out yourself if you wanted to. I'm going to stop the recording because it doesn't really look very good on Zoom because it's kind of spotty and blurry. So I'm going to stop the recording here. Part 2 of this lesson will be tomorrow.